No one noticed the pillow the day it arrived. It sat quietly on Amber's bed, square, pale blue, with tiny stitched stars that shimmered only if you looked at them from the corner of your eye. Her mother had brought it home from an old street market on a windy evening, saying only, "The woman insisted this one was special." Amara didn't believe in special pillows. Until the whispering began. The first time she heard it, she thought it was the wind, a soft sound, not quite a voice. More like a breath brushing against her ear. She turned over in bed. The room was dark. The curtains swayed slightly, nothing unusual. Then she felt it, warmth, right beneath her cheek. Strange, considering she had just cried herself to sleep. It had been one of those days, the kind where everything goes wrong in tiny, unbearable ways. A failed test. A broken promise. A friend who laughed at the wrong moment. The kind of hurt that doesn't leave bruises but still aches. Her tears had soaked the pillow. But instead of feeling damp, it felt alive. She pressed her face deeper into it. The whisper came again. "I remember." Amara shot up in bed. Her heart pounded so loudly she was sure the whole house could hear it. She stared at the pillow in the faint moonlight. It lay there, perfectly still. "You're imagining things," she muttered to herself. But when she touched it, she felt a faint pulse beneath the fabric. Like a heartbeat. The next morning, the pillow looked normal. But that night, she tested it. She didn't cry. She simply lay there, eyes open, pretending to sleep. For a long time, nothing happened. Then a faint glow flickered beneath the pillowcase. The tiny stitched stars shimmered brighter than before. Not white, not yellow, silver, and gold, and something deeper, like midnight blue. Amara froze. The pillow felt warm again, warmer than before. And then, clear as a voice beside her ear, "I remember the lonely ones." The room shifted. Not physically, but the air felt heavier, thicker. The walls seemed farther away. The pillow began to glow brighter, and before she could move, the mattress beneath her dissolved into darkness. Amara gasped. She wasn't in her bedroom anymore. She was standing in a vast, endless space like the sky just before a storm. Around her floated tiny glowing droplets. Hundreds, thousands, each one shimmered, each one pulsed softly. "What is this?" she whispered. "They're yours." The voice didn't echo now. It surrounded her. A droplet floated closer. Inside it, she saw herself smaller. Younger, crying on her first day at a new school. Another drifted near her tears the night her grandmother passed away. Another when she felt invisible in a crowded room. Every tear she had ever cried hovered in the air. "I kept them," the pillow said gently. Amber's chest tightened. "Why?" "Because you thought they were weakness." The droplets began to move. They swirled faster and faster until they formed a spinning galaxy of light above her head. Silver threads shot out from the glowing tears, connecting them. Golden sparks flickered between them like lightning. The air crackled. The tears weren't just memories. They were changing. One droplet burst open, not into water but into a glowing feather of silver light. Another transformed into a small golden key. Another into a tiny flame that burned without heat. "What's happening?" Amara stepped back. "They are becoming what they always were." The spinning lights descended, weaving together in front of her. The silver threads twisted into a long, shimmering rope. The golden sparks hardened into armor that wrapped gently around her shoulders. The tiny flame hovered over her heart. "Pain remembered becomes power," the pillow whispered. Suddenly, the sky around her darkened. A shadow crept along the edges of the glowing world. It slithered low, thick and heavy, like smoke made of doubt. The shadow spoke in a voice she knew too well. "You are not enough." Amber's breath caught. It was the voice that lived in her head on her worst days. "You fail. You're invisible. You're too much. You're not enough." The shadow grew larger with every cruel word. The glowing threads trembled. The droplets flickered. Amara felt small again. The pillow's voice softened but did not disappear. "I remember those tears too." More droplets surged forward, thousands of them glowing brighter than before. They wrapped around Amber's wrists, her shoulders, her back, not binding her, strengthening her. The silver rope settled into her hands. The golden armor shone brighter. The tiny flame over her heart flared. "You survived every moment that made you cry," the pillow said firmly. "The shadow feeds on what you forget. But I remember." The shadow lunged. Amara didn't run. She lifted the silver rope, and it blazed like a streak of lightning. The golden armor absorbed the shadow's words, dimming them to a whisper. The flame at her chest grew brighter with each breath she took. "I am still here," she said, her voice steady. The shadow recoiled. "I am still here," she repeated. Louder, the droplets around her pulsed in unison. The shadow cracked, split, and dissolved into tiny harmless wisps of smoke. Silence fell. The glowing world softened. The tears now transformed floated gently around her like loyal stars. "You see," the pillow whispered, "every tear you feared was a fracture, was actually a forge." The world faded. The darkness folded inward. Amara felt herself falling and woke with a gasp. She was back in her bed. The room was quiet. The pillow lay beneath her cheek, cool and ordinary, but her chest felt different, stronger. She touched the pillow slowly. "Do you still remember?" she asked softly. A faint warmth answered her. Always. From that night on, she never feared her tears again. When they came, she let them fall. Because somewhere inside that quiet blue pillow, they were not being stored as sadness. They were being sharpened into silver, forged into gold, turned into light. And if darkness ever tried to whisper again, she knew she would not face it alone. Her pillow remembered. And one day, if she listened closely enough, she might remember too. Good night.